How's it going, guys? About a month ago, a friend of mine shared an obnoxious video with me to which I felt the need to respond, as I do from time to time. And wouldn't you know it, it's yet another priceless gem from our good friends over at ATTN. My apologies for the delay, but now that I have the time and energy to do so, let's have another gander at their warped perception of reality. For the 4th time.
Less attractive, not taking care of themselves, letting themselves go.
We are no longer worthy, valuable. We are just disposable.
And what part of society is telling you that exactly? Where are the commercials declaring women with gray hair to be unhealthy, unkempt, and disposable? Where are the men who are openly talking shit about you for going gray who aren't then subjected to a merciless pecking from modern-day feminism? Where are these legions of gray shamers who have so turned society against you? It's pretty clear right from the beginning just what kind of women are whining and complaining about this. Hell, they opened the video with Monique Parent, someone who, until quite recently in her life, seemed to take no issue at all with being the very icon of what feminism loves to hate. A red-headed sex toy with no brain and an itching urge to serve the men in her life wearing nothing but an apron and a smile.
Now you get naked in this?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's good for you.
I'm good at naked. It's one of the things I'm good at. I don't have a lot of natural, God-given talents. That's one of them.
Do you have simulated sex in this?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you're very good at simulated sex, I would imagine by now, because you've done a lot of it, right?
Yes.
Okay, they're going to be hungry and nobody's fixing food. We got to, it's like, okay, Julie, let's make spaghetti. We got to make something. We just started cooking.
And yet, as soon as she went gray, suddenly she's a dignified feminist brimming with moral outrage over gender inequality. And as a side note, I find it hilarious that they're identifying her as a YouTuber and not as the unimpressive B-list actress she has been for the past 27 years. I can only imagine that cuts her up inside, having to face the fact that she's not the household name she undoubtedly believes that she is in her own head. I mean, I actually had to look up the pronunciation of her name, because names like this are often not pronounced the way they appear. Turns out that it actually is, and I had to track it down in a 2016 radio interview with a co-host rattling off her supposedly diverse range of talents and accomplishments before her name, since her name clearly doesn't speak for itself.
We have a brilliant, beautiful, talented actress. She's did anything you can imagine. Sci-fi, thrillers, action.
Mm-hmm.
Just finished a great new thriller.
Preach, Joe, preach! Testify!
The Perfect House, one of the best thrillers you'll ever see.
Uh-huh.
And she's did everything from Texas Walker Ranger with Chuck Norris. TV.
Wow.
To more recently, a great new film with Jan Michael White, Vigilante Diaries. And like I said, any genre you loved, she did it. Action, sci-fi, thriller.
There you go. And what is this wonderful acting talent's name, Joe?
The one and only Monique.
Monique Parent, welcome to the studio.
Hello, thank you for having me. Delighted to be here.
And who else do we have here? Eliza in Montreal? Never heard of her before now. Apparently she's a fashion-conscious YouTuber of some 8,000 subscribers and a massive inferiority complex. And I was going to look more into her history, but for fuck's sake, just look at her Instagram. Look at the faces and poses she's making. It's not hard to tell what kind of person she is. Just listen to this, from her own YouTube description. My kind of woman is one who is not afraid to admit that she has gained weight, no longer has the same strength, accepts her wrinkles, and of course her gray hair. But none of this is going to stop her from looking as mysteriously fabulous as possible. She has centered her entire channel on her graying hair. This whole going gray thing is obviously killing her inside, because she was clearly under the impression that she was going to stay young forever. And she apparently still is, because she's summarily abandoning her dignity to swim against the tide. We have two women who have little more than a knowledge of makeup to sustain them. Two women whose indignation began where their youth ended, because they failed to attain redeemable personalities before their mortality became evident. The kind of women who were called hot all of their lives and treated the tongue-wagging men worshipping them like a burden, until those tongues weren't wagging anymore. These are the type of women we're dealing with.
It's not like being in the 20s. Oh, I was having a blast. I was going through men like they were frickin' Kleenex. It's like, woohoo, you're too tall and you can't dance, and I don't like the pleats in your pants. La, 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 la. Yeah, well, the next thing you know, you're 30 years old, and your Kleenex box is empty, and you are digging through the trash for a wad you haven't used up yet.
Even female celebrities aren't immune to gray hair shaming. And they say this after having shown Monique parent. Wow, that's gotta sting. And did you just use Glenn Close as your primary example? Does that look like someone who is ashamed to have gone gray to you? Do you seriously think Hollywood has treated her like anything short of a goddess for it? Okay, let's do a quick Google search. Let's see. 14 celebs who have embraced going gray. Sounds empowering. Glenn Close, how to flaunt gray hair like a celebrity. Huh. Oh, look at this. World's Most Beautiful 2017. Famous women with gray hair. Oh, and 9 stars who actually look better with gray hair. Gotta tell you, ATTN, I'm not seeing any of this gray shaming you're bitching about. Are you sure you aren't just projecting? Alright, fine. Let's have a look at those 2 scathing articles. Kourtney Kardashian, Jennifer Lopez, and 5 other stars who are going gray. The other 5 being Jennifer Love Hewitt, Katie Holmes, Angelina Jolie, Kate Moss, and Sarah Jessica Parker. So basically, the kind of women feminists used to berate because Hollywood valued and objectified them for their looks, and who then largely disappeared off the face of the earth because that was all they really had to offer in the first place. And with the exception of Sarah Jessica Parker, none of the shots they used are terribly unflattering. In fact, wait, what does that say? Rare to find, but easily spottable, we decided to honor our gray-haired beauties such as Jennifer Lopez and Kourtney Kardashian. So effectively, this is an article defending these gray-haired beauties, isn't it? And who were the ones pointing it out in the first place? Well, this article comes from In Touch Weekly, a publication covering such riveting topics as the Kardashians, the Duggars, Teen Mom, and true crime, a television genre most popular with women for some reason, which is doubtless invoking an even more paranoid victim mentality than they already had. So essentially, it's a vapid women's rag with little more substance than any given tabloid. And what about the other one? Oh, Kate, are you really showing gray roots at 33? Well, yeah, I suppose you could say this article did take a mild dig at her appearance, given the consolation it offered to readers who evidently envied her, quote, glossy chestnut mane. But at the same time, it doesn't say a damn thing to shame her for not taking care of herself. In fact, it blames the stress of her recent birth and forgives her lapse in hair care treatments to that end. If anything, this is a sympathy piece. But that certainly didn't stop the rest of the feminist-laden media from leaping to her rescue. Right beneath that one, Google's next 5 listed articles are, Why are we still talking about Kate's gray hair? Kate Middleton's gray hairs show the only thing that is gray is the vanity of men. Kate Middleton attacked for gray hair, Kate Middleton, gray hair don't care, and the Duchess of Cambridge has some gray hair, who cares? It seems like the only ones who actually give a shit are catty bitches who are self-conscious about their own looks and want to take these beautiful women down a peg or two with backhanded compliments. And strangely enough, society seems intent on shielding women from that fact with an army of feminist journalists who blame it all on men. Huh. It's almost as if women are their own worst enemy.
You're actually setting the internet on fire. People are digging what they call the silver fox look.
Going gray ages women twice as fast as men? What in the hell is that supposed to mean? If we're talking in a literal physical sense, I can promise you that it's only because women are stressing about it twice as much as men. And that's saying a lot, ladies. Let's be real. Men have always been just as self-conscious about their hair as women have, if not more so. As many ridiculous and improvised solutions to male pattern baldness as we've seen over the years, there have been twice as many coloring solutions to hide our graying hair as well. And we would have never fought it so diligently if becoming a silver fox instantly made us attractive. The only men who are called silver foxes for turning gray are the men who are already perceived as remarkably attractive in the first place, and with very few exceptions. Steve Carell was never a bad-looking guy anyway, and I promise you no one has ever called Judd Hirsch or Wilford Brimley silver foxes unironically. I want you to scooch up nice and close to the screen now, ladies. Take a nice, close look at this girl. Do you think any man anywhere is giving her shit about her gray hair? How about this girl? You know damn well none of these women are going to have trouble reeling in the compliments or potential dates. If you're being honest, you know it's not the gray hair, natural or otherwise, that's causing men to lose interest. It's something else, isn't it? I could just have some couth and leave it at that, but I'm not going to let you lie to yourselves, okay? It's the full pouty lips. It's the vibrant eyes with long lashes. It's the healthy, youthful skin bereft of any sagging or age lines. Skin that really needs no blush at all because it's still naturally present. It's the naturally plush and perky curves you try so hard to accentuate as gravity starts to take over. As asinine and entitled as it would be in and of itself, you are not upset that gray hair means men won't be attracted to you, because that's not the case. No, you're upset that young men won't be attracted to you. The gray hair is just the final nail in the coffin. Your age is now obvious beyond just your hair, and they're not in the habit of dating older women most of the time. This isn't a problem with them, it's a problem with your inability to face reality because you thought you'd be young forever.
I went up to the store with my little girl, and some random stranger was like, "Oh, is that your mom? Grandma? Grandma?" I was like, "What?"
You're only proving my point, ATTN. That was an honest mistake. Younger women with little girls don't often have naturally gray hair, and you know it. Anyone would make that mistake. And by the way, nobody ever told you to be offended about your age. Women have insisted on keeping their age a secret for generations, to the point of being visibly flustered and offended when asked, to the point of being visibly flattered and elated when confused for their daughter's sister as opposed to her mother. You are the ones who made it such a sensitive topic. Okay, first of all, what jobs? What fields? I read that Washington Post article you just cited, and they are deliberately vague about everything involving this supposed study, of which they list no source, by the way. Certainly nothing about listed experience, educational background, or any other metrics someone with a functioning brain would use to make that decision. In fact, the only thing they are specific about is the fact that older male actors evidently have an easier time retaining employment in Hollywood, while showing contempt for Helen Mirren, mind you, denoting that they think actresses are entitled to roles regardless of what little acting talent they bring to the table beyond their looks. And if it was their looks that were carrying them that whole time, it's no surprise that their careers fell through, nor is it a surprise that they have a harder time dating.
When I was on the dating apps, I would have so many men say, "But your hair's blonde, right?" No, my hair's not blonde. They somehow perceived that dating a woman with gray hair would make them look old.
Yeah, well, consider yourself lucky that men are still lighting up your inbox on those dating apps. For most men, it's not that simple. We are usually the ones who have to do the chasing, and you are usually the ones who do the rejecting. So frankly, you get no sympathy from me. Enjoy that little taste of our world. Also, bullshit. No man told you that he didn't want to date you because it would make him look old. This just alludes more to the fact that you either don't understand men in the least, or you are lying to yourself about what we're actually looking for. Men and women don't look for the same things in a mate. We never have. You'll notice that all of these silver foxes, in addition to being classically attractive to one degree or another before they went gray, also exude an air of success and confidence, perhaps even mystery. They're usually well-groomed, well-dressed, sophisticated, and they tend to lean toward a certain lifestyle, don't they? Something you can fantasize about. If any one of them were poorly groomed, introverted, homeless, and had matted beards, you wouldn't give them a second glance. And good grooming aside, if we don't have Pierce Brosnan looks, we better have Bill Gates money if we want sexiest man alive status. Here's the reality, ladies. If a man finds you attractive, really finds you attractive, none of these things matter to him. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, where he finds you, what you're doing when he finds you, what you're saying when you're doing whatever you're doing, or what you're thinking when you're saying whatever you're saying. He doesn't care if you're social or introverted. He doesn't care if you're meek or opinionated. He doesn't care about your friends, your family, your job, or your aspirations in life. In all honesty, even how you smell and how clean you look aren't going to be that big of a hindrance to your ability to attract a man, because they're typically going to be attracted even from across the room. The things we initially look for in a mate, unfortunately for you, tend to fade with age. Because unlike so many women, most of us aren't looking for a protector or a provider. That's not how we're wired. And just the same as how you judge us, until you meet those qualifiers, no part of your personality is going to redeem you. And no part of your personality makes you entitled to our affections. Oh, but don't worry, sweetie, we'll be the bestest friends forever. Funny how you have a hard time accepting that, even though these have always been the words coming from your gender in regards to the friend zone. You don't like it much when the shoe is on the other foot, do you?
I've been dyeing my hair since I was 17.
I colored my hair from the time I was 17 until I turned 50.
Yeah, and I'm sure that made it a lot easier for you to sweet talk those directors into casting you. I repeat, men have been coloring their hair just as long as you have. And if we're talking pure physical attractiveness here, a man isn't going to spend as much time and money as you to look young. But at the end of it, he'll still look like himself for better or worse. He's not going to pile on makeup to hide blemishes and wrinkles. He's not going to sculpt his eyebrows. He's not going to put false eyelashes and eyeshadow on his face to simulate bedroom eyes. He's not going to shove a foot-long sausage down his pants to make himself look better endowed than he really is. At the end of the day, ladies, our faces don't wash off. And if he lies to you about anything he is the one society sees as an asshole. Nobody judges you for your lies. In fact, even in this video, society sympathizes with you for having to lie. As if you don't have a choice. Fighting back. That's adorable. They're just gonna fight their way into being more attractive to us, guys. We better watch out. What a fucking joke.
I thought, let me just be a silver-haired woman that people can see. If I am looking to see myself represented, other women are feeling the same, and at least I can do that for others.
She says as she piles on the makeup she routinely hides behind.
Why should it matter what you do with your hair? It's all about you, what makes you happy.
I don't know, princess. What does it matter what size a guy's dick is? What does it matter how much money he has in the bank? Is it really about what makes you happy? If that were the case, you wouldn't be making this video. You wouldn't be throwing a tantrum about people not being attracted to you. No, this is about you being happy by forcing everyone's praise of your bravery and beauty at the threat of being called misogynist should they fail to comply. This is about you being happy by pretending everyone around you is going to have a positive opinion about you, because how dare they not see you for the goddess that you think you are.
It's my damn hair. Whether I choose to dye it or I don't choose to dye it, that is up to me.
It's my damn penis. And whether I want to fuck you or I don't want to fuck you, that is up to me. See how that works? Are you gonna cry that I'm shallow now? Let me tell you something, Monique. Unlike you, prospective suitors haven't been knocking at my door desperate for my attention all my life. I have no delusion about my attractiveness. Certainly not one that needs to be fed with false pride and defiance. Nobody cares if you dye your hair. Nobody. And if some gossip rag chooses to write about it, which they won't because who the hell are you, I promise you they'll forget your name as soon as they turn the page. It sucks to be invisible, doesn't it? Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw here, have a look at my other videos and leave me your thoughts in the comments. If you support my message, then please like, favorite, and subscribe. If you'd like to help this channel improve, you can reach out to me on Twitter or on Facebook with any suggestions. And if you'd like to support me more directly, please consider following me on Patreon. Links in the description. Thanks again, and I'll catch you all in my next video.